A couple of shades and a beaming siege on the throne.
All right, guys. So, as you saw from the intro, we're doing mini me, a puppet, doll, broken little marionette puppet. Yeah. Halloween costume. Hope you guys are excited for this video. Honestly, I'm so excited to show you guys this one because we've been planning it forever. I mean, we literally got a little Roxette doll made in the Czech Republic. Okay, and shout out to my friend Michelle because she helped me paint the face and it's perfect. So hope you guys are excited to see this video and how I created this look right here. Let's get started. Alrighty, so starting off with brows, we are going very dramatic as you can see here. So I'm taking the Covergirl Brow Pomade in 715 and filling in my brows. And like I said, we want them very dark and dramatic because we want our brows to look drawn on. So normally I leave sparse areas like a little bit more natural in my brows. But for this look, you definitely want to fill in any sparseness, any little bald spots or anything so that they're nice and opaque. And you actually want to set your brows with a black eyeshadow. Yes, I hit myself in the face. So I went back in and cleaned up that brow and went back to the brow that I was working on. So I set that brow pomade with the black eyeshadow. Just helps to fill them in even more so and get them really nice and opaque. And you always want to blend that powder through the brows as well. This can get a little bit messy, but you can always go back in with concealer and clean them up. So I went ahead and carved out the bottom of the brows as well as the top. So you're getting both the top and the bottom, and this is really going to help you achieve those perfect looking drawn on brows. And like any look, we want to prime our eyes. So I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Studio Finish Concealer in NC10, just creating a nice even layer. And at this point, a couple things happened when I was filming. I thought I was gonna do a classic black smoky eye. So I started to go in with my liner and blend that out with a blending brush. But then I realized that I had not put in my contacts, and I need to put in my contacts before I put in makeup because I am not an expert contact putter inner. I always mess up my makeup if I do it after I've applied my makeup. So I went ahead and popped in my black contacts at this point. Yes, honey. Yes. Okay, it was a little creepy, but kind of lived for it, not gonna lie. Then another thing happened. I realized that I did not actually want to do a classic black smoky eye because I felt like it was going to look a little too Wednesday Addams-ish, and although that's cute, that was not the look that I was going for, so I decided to do a gray smoky eye instead. So I went back in with Melt Cosmetics Assimilate eyeshadow, which is a nice cool tone gray shade, and I popped that right into the crease with a fluffy brush. Then to deepen things up, I actually took MAC Embark Eyeshadow, which is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadows. It's like a chocolatey brown with plum undertones. It's beautiful, and I'm just using that on an even more tapered blending brush. This one is the MAC 224S, so it's actually different from the original 224. I found that this one is a lot more tapered and pointed, so it's great for getting right into the crease. And then I went in with the fluffier brush and blended everything out to give us a nice gradient. And we're actually going to deepen it up one more time with MAC Carbon. So the black eyeshadow that we've been using, I'm actually going to use this a couple times in the tutorial, so watch out for that. But again, honestly, any black eyeshadow will do. I'm just using this to further deepen up the crease and give us that really nice smoky effect. Now for the lid shade, I jumped on over to my Sephora Pro Palette in Cool, and I took Violet Gray and Assimilate. Wait, what was that shade name? Obsidian. I had to go back and rewind it, but I took these two shades and mixed those together to create my lid shade because I couldn't find a lid shade that was like this, where it was more of a light to medium gray tone. If you do have that at home, totally feel free to use that, but I did go ahead and mix those two shades to get this effect. Alrighty, lashes time. Now, we're using using a lot of lashes for this tutorial just because for any sort of puppet or doll look, you really want to accentuate the eyes. So the first pair of lashes I'm using is Lily Lashes Ella. That's really gonna help to open up the eyes for this initial first step. And jumping around a little bit, we'll come back to the eyes in a bit, but I am going in with primer for the face. Now we're going super matte for the face products. I'm starting off with the Maybelline Master Blur Stick just to blur out any pores, and I wipe that on and then kind of like pressed it into the skin with my finger. Then straight to foundation, we are going in with Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation in 3.0. This is a bomb foundation if you're looking for something that is really gonna give you that doll-like appearance. I just feel like whenever I use this foundation, my skin is perfected. Even if it's not in real life, it looks that way. It gives you a very flawless, full coverage look, and it is super matte and very long lasting. Woo! And I'm bringing that down the neck and onto the décolletage. And moving on to concealer, kind of sticking with the same theme. I'm going in with MAC Studio Fix Concealer because it is both full coverage, matte, and long lasting. Well, that's 3 things, but you get the picture. So I applied that underneath the eyes to brighten that area up, and also down the middle of the face just to get everything nice and even. You guys, honestly, I was really impressed with this combo. Like, it made my skin look so good. Serious doll vibes, okay? To set that down, I use the Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder, another mattifying product. This stuff is honestly a really great product, again, to get that mattified effect and just give yourself like, honestly, I felt like I was like poreless at this point. Going back into Carbon now, I'm actually taking that on a small angled brush, and I'm actually going to accentuate the whites of the eyes to give us a very doll-like eye look. So I'm taking that and lining the bottom lash line, but underneath, leaving a little bit of space for some white paint. So I'm using this Wet n Wild paint pot that I picked up at the drugstore. Really great and affordable, and I just took that and lined the bottom lash line above the black. So you can see what I'm doing here. It's extending the whites of the eyes to make our eyes look nice and big. Yes, doll eyes, come through. I was so excited because I felt like this was when it really started to come together. Then I did go ahead and smoke out the black line just a little bit to diffuse it with the eyeshadows that we used on the top to match everything together. And I did the exact same steps on the other eyelid or the other under eye area. Honestly, the hardest part about any look like this is just getting them to look even, but with patience and persistence, it is possible, my friends, I guarantee you. So like I said before, same exact steps, smoking it out, giving your eyes that white look, and then we're gonna go in and draw out the lashes that are actually drawn onto the skin. So for the under eye area to really, again, accentuate the eyes, I wanted to do drawn on lashes as well as actual false lashes. So first off, I'm taking the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in All Around White, and I'm outlining where the lashes are gonna be. This is really easy to do, or this is the easiest way to do it, I should say, because you can easily wipe away that white. Once you start working with black, it's a lot more difficult. So after the white, I went in with the Sigma Beauty Wicked Gel Liner and outlined where I wanted to place those lashes or where I wanted to draw on those lashes. Then I went in with a liquid liner. So I used the NYX liquid liner, or the matte liquid liner for this step. Definitely want to use something matte and something that is super pigmented. And we are adding on real lashes. So these ones are from Violet Voss, and they're actually the style Wisp It Real Good. I cut them up so that they actually acted as individual lashes, and I could apply them individually right on top of where I drew them on. And I felt like once I added the bottom lashes, the top lashes just weren't enough. So I decided to add on a House of Lashes Iconic Light Lash as well, just to give it that extra volume and the extra drama, okay? Yes, drama, come through. No, drama isn't good, but only on the lashes, okay? Okay, so moving on to the other eye, we're again doing the same order of events here, going in with that white, then the black gel liner to really outline the lashes that are drawn onto the face. And then I actually did take some concealer, so this is a good tip. If you do mess up with the black, you can take some concealer and kind of just run it along the edges to clean that up if you need to. You're always able to fix things, okay? That's what I want you guys to remember. With these Halloween looks especially, you can always fix it and make it look amazing. I made the lashes a little bit bigger on this eye just because, you know, just to make it a little bit different, to be honest, and I thought it was really, really cute. I low-key started to get like clown vibes from this, but also low-key living because I've never done a clown look, I don't think. I wanted to play this one in normal speed, not fast forward, so you could see, but I went in and cleaned up even more so with that white concealer so that I could really crisp out those lines, and I liked how it like highlighted that area. So yes, do that, honey. And then we're adding on those same lashes to the other side. Then moving back to the face, I'm gonna add on some contour with the Violet Gray eyeshadow from the Sephora Pro palette, just really chiseling out the cheekbones. So I'm using pressing motions to get those cheekbones to look high and sculpted and like a little porcelain doll. I'm also using this to carve out the nose, or not carve it out, but you know, contour the nose, what I should say. And we're adding on a little bit of highlighter. So I'm using this NARS highlighter palette, and I didn't want to go too crazy with highlight because when I think of a puppet, a marionette puppet, a doll, anything of the sorts, you know, they don't have those blinding highlights. It's more just like a subtle radiance. So we are adding that in just to like lift up the cheekbones a little bit more, but it's nothing too crazy, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Next up, we're adding on a blush. And for blush, come on, we had to go with like a pink, a really pretty girly pink. So this one is MAC Cosmetics Love Cloud. Moving on to the face, I'm starting off with the cracks. So I took that white liner, the same one that we used for the lashes, and made an outline. Then I went in with the Mayron paint palette and used that to draw on the cracks. For this step, I am using a paintbrush that I found at Michael's. You could probably get it at any like arts and crafts store, but I do find that it's easiest to do that with the paints just to really drag them out thin and create like a precise line. And after you have the lines on there, you do want to go back in and shade them to make them look even more realistic. So I'm actually using the Melt Cosmetics eyeshadow that we used before on the eyes and using that to shade in those cracks. This side, since it was a bigger crack, I did use some of the black face paint to shadow it in, and then I would go in with that eyeshadow, the gray eyeshadow, and kind of disperse the product, drag it up to fade out the shadowing. And it makes it so much easier if you have a point of reference. For me, I actually had my marionette puppet hanging next to me so I could see exactly where the cracks were and recreate them. So it probably will be easier for you guys if you have like a picture, or even if you refer back to this video just to see exactly where the cracks are placed. And I also added one on the forehead. At the end of the day, you couldn't really see mine because my wig covered it, but I still wanted to show this step just in case you guys wanted to see it, again, as a point of reference. And for the nose, I added some white face paint to highlight because that's a very puppet-like thing to do. My marionette puppet had some white face paint right down there down the middle of the nose, so I added that on. I really wanted to do a heart that was actually smeared down on the cheeks. I don't know where I came up with this, honestly. I was just kind of like playing around with this makeup look, and I fell in love with this idea. So here we are. I'm using the red Mayron face paint from that same Paradise palette, and I am just outlining the heart and then filling it in, and then taking my pinky and smearing it down so it looks like we're broken and we're sad or something. And this step is totally optional, but I did take some of the Lit Cosmetics Adhesive and also their chocolate cherry glitter in the size number 3, and I placed that on the outer edge of the heart, but you couldn't really see it that much, so it is optional, like I said. Then for lips, I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in 0 to completely line and fill in the lips. Then I went in with this Fenty Beauty liquid lipstick. I'll have all of the products listed down below, by the way, but just also letting you guys know what I use. Also went in with a felt tip to extend the outer edges of my lips to make them look very doll-like. And as the last step, I put some white face paint on the bottom lip to make it look like it was painted on. Then it was time to put on our wig, and I feel like this really brought the look together, and there you have it, a little marionette puppet. Ooh, I got my own little twin here. Hope you guys liked this video. Tell them to subscribe if they liked it. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, yeah, yay rock stars. Yeah, but hope you guys liked it. Comment down below if you did, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Go to the oh my god.